Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm actually in Seattle right now shooting some videos with ChefSteps. It's pretty cool because when I was younger I used to watch a bunch of ChefSteps videos when I was learning how to cook, and the fact that I can cook with them right now is pretty dope. Today we're going to be doing a bunch of prep to get ready for some cooks in the next 2 days. We're going to get to work. We're going to trim some briskets up, trim some ribs, and get things done ahead of time just so that we can be as efficient as possible. I know I say that's a lot of my videos, but hopefully you guys enjoy being a fly on the wall.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. It's super cool being here.
This is tallow, this would be
Sausage.
Would you put some of this in for burger?
You might, because I try to trim it towards a little bit leaner.
Put some not lame. We grind on that. Dry edge stuff. Talk to me. What are we doing?
Taking off the skirt off of these ribs. This full spare right here has this breastbone attached to it. A little notch right here. And now take this piece off right here that we can't keep on the bone.
How long do you think it's going to take you just for the like wrapping part of the traditional?
Sasha, how are we doing on the planning for the next 2 days?
Dude, this is a lot. I don't know how you do this all the time. It's just like getting all the timing down, trying to figure out, making sure we get every shot that we need, making sure that we have enough daylight to do it all, making sure that everyone on the crew doesn't have to show up at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
But when you have to think about everyone else that's part of it, and the fact that like we have to shoot at Grant's house. Yeah, you gotta take that into consideration.
So yeah, the first grind, it's important to note, we were using super old coffee grinder. Do you remember these? I remember them from my childhood.
I remember seeing them, yeah.
Yeah,
like
going
grocery stores.
Yeah, local grocery stores. Super good for like really coarse grinds to super fine, which they call Turkish. So we use this for spices. They're beasts. The only thing to note with them, like most grinders, is you don't want to put anything that's like resinous or oil in there. I learned that with juniper making pastrami rubs. It just cakes up. It's a nightmare. But they're workhorses.
It's pretty powdery.
Pretty powdery. Yeah, I mean, which makes sense. As these spice grinders or coffee grinders in particular get better, nobody's ever going to be grinding coffee coarser than this. And also because it's so over roasted, it kind of shatters differently when you're using it for coffee opposed to spices. So that's not going to be the way to go. But you were saying the flavor is good enough on this?
I think so, yeah. It's peppery, but it's not spicy right off the bat.
Yeah.
If you taste the other one, it's got texture, but there's a crunch while that one kind of cracks.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. Like the pepper comes a lot more forward, whereas this is at the tail end.
Yeah.
Crank it through. So these are our coarsest mesh sieves that we have, 14, 16, 18. We got a trap here on the bottom. Here is gonna be like all the super fine stuff. This is like what you would find for like table pepper. That's even probably too coarse. This is gonna give us a little more control of the size here. Though we're looking for the coarsest, which is gonna stay on top of the number 14. Maybe some of them that's trapped in the 16 or 18 is gonna pass Joe's approval, so we get more yield.
The smell on all of them are very different as well.
Yeah. Fat Duck, I think, Heston Blumenthal used to make their line cooks have at least 5 different grind sizes of pepper freshly ground each day on their stations. All right, we're gonna push this as far as we can go.
Okay.
50, in my opinion, this is as close as you would find to like just a fine mesh sieve. We're gonna go to the 120, 200, you go all the way up to 500. I mean, this looks like something you'd find on a drum kit or something. You would use this more for making sodas or drinks or something to get like sediment or mother, like the residual bits of the mother or the SCOBY out of kombucha. So super fine. It's not worth putting anything through there. Even if there's pectin still in that juice, that's gonna clog it up too. Coarsest, you're seeing like some more browns, big pops of black. Once you get into 50, which is close to the fine mesh sieve, it's a lot more black gray. I mean, this is like the coarser one you might find at the average grocery store. Now you're getting into very gray. Well, like we were talking about earlier, I thought it was interesting. It's like to do this yourself for a specific grind. It's like you have so much byproduct, it's just not practical. So on like an industrial scale, it makes way more sense where though the yield to have a specific grind at like a 14 mesh sieve, the yield might be, I don't know, barely 2% of the whole batch, maybe less than 1%. But all that byproduct, they're just gonna regrind it again to sell it for like the cheap, just pre-ground stale pepper that people are used to using at home, the commodity stuff. So
I didn't even think about that because I thought there was a special type of grinder to get different types.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure there's a lot of great grinder technology out there. But yeah, this is just at home with very expensive lab sieves. I feel like these two are close enough.
What's that one on the end right there?
The 18. Kind of seems like this might be the cutoff.
Let's see. This one actually kind of has that same texture as the Spiceology a little bit. Like a mix of the whole. You can do a mix of the 16 and 18, looks like.
16, 18? Alright.
I think so.
Let's grab a pull. This guy real quick. Okay, so I need to pull out. Does it matter with brisket?
Yeah, I labeled it. I labeled it cooked today. So this is going to be just the setup. We'll drop all of the onion pulls. Yeah. We got this one going. This one going.
You like the coarse one?
This one going.
Yeah.
That one. It does go hotter as long as there's not like flames. I'm kind of okay with it.
Welcome everyone. As much as possible, this has all been planned out in timeline. The thing with barbecue is that it's very hard to be like it'll take exactly this much time. We have generally a very good plan of what we're going to do.
It sounds like it's 2 cameras, no top down, locked off wide. We're going to see from the grill, basically to probably somewhat where that camera is, frame-wise.
So for like the first brisket, A, camera be here, or maybe you move in, camera comes around to this side for POV, camera B is a wash.
That's right,
If there's anything that you feel like you really want to show, pause, slow down, say, hey, like, do you have this? Let's make sure we get it, or whatever. So just communicate with us. Yeah. No, that's take 2.
One thing about making sure that our brisket is not too close to the fire, you can kind of squeeze it just a tad.
I think we talked about like, just sort of like bringing it up to temp, right?
And so all we're trying to do is really bring the internal temperature of our brisket up.
Really quickly, do you want to put the top on? I'll shoot the vent, the smoke, and then we'll cut and then still smoke. Okay, go for it, Joe.
Weber ribs, take 1. Say that 3 times fast.
These ribs have been glazed. Everything is really nicely kind of caked on there. It kind of has that nice gloss and sheen to it. You can always turn the ribs around just to even out the cooking just a little bit.
Look at all of it.
I was thinking I was going to come out here and it'd be like a bun, a brisket, and a bun. So you like smoked them and they're...
Yeah, so smoked so like 125.
Sounds beef.
Ready for burger camper?
Speed.
Cooking burgers, take 1.
Half-pound burgers that were smoked to 120, 125, seared off some beef tallow. Just press simple with
Brisket burger.
onions and some
Half pound doesn't scare me.
We need to take any pictures? Or
No, we'll get pictures.
Great.
Should we try it?
Do you want to get YouTube thumbnail? What do you want to do? Thumbnail?
You get in here, I get in here, just squish them, get faces and super squishy, fat brisket burgers. Yum, we made burgers out of brisket. Yummy. Want to eat a burger? Let's try it. I gotta try it. I'm trying it. Cheers. Mmm.
Really good.
Good cook on it. Mm-hmm. I mean this in a good way. I thought it was gonna be like greasier and fattier. Like it's kind of lean but tender and juicy. Like I didn't see how much fat you put in it, but
It's not getting cooked in its own grease. It's only just for the sear.
I'm into that. I'm super into that.
And you guys can smile or yeah.
Yummy!
Cool.
Joe, you want me to shoot you?
No, I'm good. I like getting everyone else who's involved. This is my favorite part of these videos.
Just pull that out at the end of the video. I can't help it.
Yeah, it's being shown.
Something like that. Something like that. But and then we're
Influencers in the black.
I know.
Alright,
Okay,
and speed, go for it.
okay, I just shared it with you. So we're gonna I'll label all the brisket.
Remember when you didn't hit her at bone?
I know.
And you're like, I'm so glad I didn't hit a bone.
So incredible.
Cool, that was nice.
Great. Awesome. We're gonna wrap Blake. Nick and Ryan.
It's a wrap on Blake.
Yo, this is so dang good.
Awesome.
Gonna give you the time for it to come.
Okay. Cool.
The extension we had.
Hold it up.
Everything went great yesterday.
Brisket cook
Better get on that thing.
I've just sort of like, here's like the stages of cooking brisket.
That's not, you know, just tell me 13 hours. Don't tell me 12 and then and then I have to wait another hour. That's so mean.
Pretty cool board right there.
Can't get that.
All this freaking brisket. Nick, thank you for all your help.
Dude, amazing work, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Sasha.
Yeah, Joe. Woo. Woo, woo, woo.
I really like the pickle chaser. Boom, 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 boom. There's a cut, cut on it. Is it this part right here? Barbecue joints, they call it the sugar cookie. It's like all
Yeah, just a
doughy and
little
collagen.
wider.
Like I tried a couple nuggets. Like,
Oh my God.
try like.
Thanks for bringing me in.
Thanks for coming, man. It's so much fun. It took us a year to do it.
I
but
know.
We did it.
I know. We had to plan
We
it
did
right. It's all worth it now. Look at that.
So that's page. The ChefSteps studio. Pike Place Market, 3 stories up of shopping, 3 stories down, shopping, right on the waterfront in Seattle. We've been here since 2012. This is the main studio. We've shot a lot this way. You'll probably recognize that scene. This is our playground right here. Got our hood systems. It's very important. So we set the fire alarms off. The whole market evacuates. It's happening. Prep area. Call it a dish pit. I don't. This is where the magic happens. Staff area. Our team's always scaling up between 10, 20 people, depending on what we're doing. This used to be the old editing bay, but the company's
Whoa,
been
really?
since 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Packed about 3 people in there. Kind of purgatory or the creative storage unit in a way. That's where I keep all the different pots and pans, tools that are sleeping right now for waiting for the right season, whether we're doing indoors or outdoors, we got to store it somewhere. And then it's not just kitchen tools, it's all the camera gear. As much space.
You gotta shoot it with all this kind of stuff. This is how you get the high quality videos.
Yeah.
And still needing to rent equipment too on top of
God,
that.
Yeah. And TVs, now we love Zoom, so we gotta have those.
Yeah. Oh, this is where we had our meeting right here.
Pre-pros, that's where those go down. So.
The day after us shooting barbecue and we're still talking about it. This is the best. Yeah, but I think that's what was interesting yesterday. It's lower and it kind of bows out a little bit more.
Because in my head, why convection is important is because that convection is helping push off that steam bubble.
How about that? Wait, yeah. Well, I guess another way that I always say is like whisking off the moisture on top of the brisket, right?
Yeah.
So,
you said something towards the end of the day with Grant that I really was happy you said, because I've been grappling with this for a long time. If that flat's super tender and really, really good, that could mean that your point is like kind of overcooked. Instead of changing small increments, change things in extremes to confirm your theory.
I always tell people it's like you have to severely overcook a bunch of briskets and severely undercook a bunch, and so you can really start to whittle down like what is your like the range of like some of your perfect briskets, right?
Yeah.
I wish I kind of said this. See, this is the thing. Like things come up when we're talking about it, right? Like you can mess it up in the same way, but in two different methods if you're just not careful with it.
Yeah, you know, kind of at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, that method works, but it's also like risk management.
Yeah. This is the best conversation ever. This is what I love.